Good morning. It's Friday, August 7th. It's about 9 a.m. Been up for a little while. I just walked over and used the bathroom here a little bit ago. Um, yeah, it is pack up and go home day, unfortunately. That's all fine. It's my batteries are at 82%, and it is really overcast out there. So I'm getting like 40 watts of solar. so that which again I'm leaving for the day, but I do need to keep my 12-volt cooler cold for the ride home. So as long as I don't depart here with too low of a battery, I can use the power station to keep the 12-volt cooler cold the whole ride home. As I mentioned in a long previous video, the reason I don't plug the 12-volt cooler directly into the truck is it tends to blow fuses. It pulls too much power. So yeah, I've got one more meeting here at 10, which is a little less than an hour from now. So right now I'm just playing catch up on some emails and Teams messages and getting some. I had one engineering task I had to go look up, so I'm just about done with that. More of a research than actually doing of anything. So yeah, here in a few minutes, I'm gonna go out and start getting things packed up and ready to go. Yeah, I've got a little bit more to do than usual because I put the canopy out, and obviously I had solar panels out this trip, so got a little bit of work to do inside since I rejected the idea of finding someplace to store the camper up in northern Minnesota. I think it'd be about a wash with what it cost me to do that versus the extra gas it's going to take to haul it home. And I would have to, there's so much stuff I would have to pull out of here, like all the dirty laundry, all the groceries, all of the computer stuff, all have to be pulled out, repacked back into the truck. It'd be like Texas pop-up all over again. So I've already rejected the idea of taking the camper home. So I can do a standard takedown, tear down. I don't have to do a crap ton of repacking. Just all the stuff that I had out has to get put away. And I gotta get the kayak mounted back on the back of the trailer here again, since I use that quite a bit this week. So yeah, that's all that's going on around here. It's not going to be a very exciting day, just a typical pack up. And then I think I misspoke last night. I think I said 9 or 10 hours. GPS is saying 7, so yeah, probably 9 or 10 hours. I guess I didn't misspeak. Yeah, it's going to be a long, brutal drive home. Unless I just hit the gas and bite the bullet at the pump. I don't know. Like, I've been not doing that this entire trip because, I'm 3,000 miles in. If I would have done that for, I don't know, probably 2,200 of them were towing. But, because I do a lot of just, running around from my base camp. But, yeah, if I would have just punched it every time I had this trailer on behind me, I would have burned through easily another $500 in gas. That I've already burned through a lot of gas this summer. But for just say for 7 hours of getting home, I might just bite the bullet and punch it. And then when I go to take off again, date's still to be determined. Hopefully end of next weekend. I'm back on the road and heading back up here again. But I can go back to my putting along at 60 mile an hour next weekend. I might just get home for now so I can get my crap done. And it's good. I mean, I'm anticipating it's going to be noon before I get out of here at the earliest anyway. So I guess it really doesn't matter if I get home at 7:30 by the time you include a couple of bathroom breaks and stopping for gas at least once. It really, I guess, doesn't matter if I get home at 7:30 or 10:30. So I don't know. Do I really want to spend an extra, $60 in gas to get home? It's more about 7 hours of riding in that truck versus 9 to 10 hours of riding in that truck, and less about what time I get home. So I don't know. Yeah, once upon a time I could drive straight through to Phoenix. When I was in college, I was about to say high school, but yeah, when I was in college, like I could drive from Iowa to Phoenix like in a day, like 26 hours nonstop, and I mean it kind of wiped me out a little bit, but yeah, I could do it. Now, like more than 4 hours in the car, I'm like, oh, I'm getting old. Anywho, Yeah, I'm gonna finish up my work and then go start doing my non-work work. Catch you later. All right, 9:45. I was making good progress with getting camp broke down, and then I heard thunder in the background, and now we got rain coming down. So I'm gonna look at the radar here. Never AccuWeather says rain and a heavy thunderstorm for at least the next 60 minutes, and based on the radar, I believe it. I kind of forgot that I did see last night that there were chances of storms today. So yeah, I should real quick move my canopy over the battery. So I suppose if we're gonna actually get some thunderstorms, that may involve some wind. So I should probably anchor this canopy back down. And then I've got about 10 minutes till my next meeting. I guess I'll go inside and work for a while till this passes enough to finish packing up. I'm almost done. The kayak is strapped on the back already. That's bag garbage, just got to go out. So the only things I really have left out, I put the solar panels away. They were only getting like 30 watts of power anyway. So I got, basically it's just kind of final items. I got the Starlink to pull in, battery and cooler to throw in the truck. I roll up my rug, and then it's just pulling up jacks and hooking up. So yeah. 74% power, 6.8 hours remaining at current usage, so it should be all right yet for a little while. I can fire up the generator before I go if I have to, but I'm really hoping to be on the road by noon. So I don't know whatever's out here. They're swarming everywhere, all around the camper, around my truck. There's little like gnat-like flies, super annoying. They don't seem to be biting, but they just swarm you, just like gnats. Maybe they are gnats, I don't know. Usually the gnats we get at home are a little bit smaller. But anywho, I'm gonna stake this down, go inside, do some work, I guess. Like job work. Catch you later. It's 11 o'clock. I'm fully packed up, inside and out. Stabilizing jacks are up. The only thing I've left to do is hitch the truck on. But I'm also in the red cell portion of the storm, and it's raining pretty good. It was raining again a minute ago. So yeah, kind of debating between just going for it and getting soaked and getting loaded up, or this thing only should take like half hour to pass, or just ride the storm out, as Kevin Cronin would say. Anywho, alright, it's a little bit after noon. I just stopped at the famous Double Arches to grab some lunch, and I realized that when I strapped this kayak on, I forgot to lift it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that here. And then everything on the trailer's riding good. And then I also need to give my windshield a quick cleaning and a fresh coat of Rain-X. So, well, it's good timing. I just finished the windshield and it just started to rain where I'm at, so perfect timing. And I got the kayak hoisted up. I think I mentioned in a previous video, but if the kayak sits all the way down into the halter, it tends to scrape on the ground. So what I try to do is actually hoist it up a little bit and then strap it back so it doesn't ride quite so low. And I forgot to do that when I loaded it this morning, so did it now. But anyway, I'm going to turn Garth back on and keep driving towards home. Catch you later. Well, it's 4:30. I'm just southeast of Decorah, Iowa, but this is Iowa in the summertime. Hills, corn, and thunderstorms. I've been fighting these crosswinds basically since St. Paul. And
at the next stop sign, turn right.
Yeah.
At the stop sign, turn right onto Iowa 51 South.
Yeah, it's been real fun. The wind is just throwing that trailer around like a paper airplane. And yeah, it's kind of some white-knuckle driving here the last few hours. I still got like 3 hours to go until I get home. Let's see, coming down the hill into Decorah, a fox ran out into the road right in front of me. So I turned that into a pancake. I then stopped in Decorah quick to do a quick check of my truck, make sure it didn't tear up any lines or anything, but everything looks fine. So yeah, that's a new first in my life. I've hit deer before, I've hit lots of possums and skunks and stuff like that, but I've never hit a fox, so that's new. Roadkill. Yeah, I kind of wish I had my dash cam running. I transferred all the files off and onto my computer last night, and I forgot to put the memory chip back in it. The memory chip is in my laptop, which is in the trailer. So there's pretty cool lightning going on here as the storm continues to build right on top of me, and I'm going to be driving through it, I think, pretty much all afternoon. I don't think I'm ever going to escape it, but yeah. So yeah, I kind of wish I had that going, because some of this lightning's pretty cool. Man, northeast Iowa, everybody assumes Iowa is flat. It is not. Northeast Iowa is very, very hilly. And then, yeah, look, more rain. Ugh. Yeah, that wind is just coming through here like no other. It's just throwing me all around. I mean, you can see look at the corn blowing up there on top of that hill. I don't know if you can see through my windshield or not, but yeah, I really can't tell what you can see. I'm holding the phone up, but I'm not looking at it. Holy crap. Yeah, look at that garden. Or no, that's a soybean field. Wow, this is just nuts. I'm glad, ooh, there was some lightning. I don't know, did you see that? Yeah, I'm glad when I stopped to get lunch that I went ahead and cleaned the windshield and applied a fresh coat of the Rain-X to it, because it's really made this drive a little bit easier today. Oops. There we go. Yeah, look at that tree blowing. This is the worst wind I've seen yet so far today. Look at this. Like, you know when, like, passenger cars are slowing down to 45 mile an hour in a 55, that it's windy. And, like, there's no truck traffic ahead of us slowing down traffic. Like, even the cars are struggling to stay on the road. And they're not pulling a freaking kite behind them. Or a sail. Holy crap. Alright, so this is Postville. I've driven this route before, once or twice. I've made 3 solo trips from home to Rochester in the past few years. Actually, yeah. And GPS usually has me go this route. So it's a lot of state highways, a couple of county roads, mostly 2-lane blacktop, 55 mile an hour. What the hell was that chime? Oh, I think it's my dash cam. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've made this trip to and from Rochester a couple of times, so it's a lot of 2-lane. Yeah. It's the dash cam. It's pissed off because it's sensing events, which is my whole truck shaking. Look at that guy's flag. And I can't record because there's no memory chip. Anyway, yeah, I've made this trip a few times, all 2-lane blacktops, and it's not that exciting of a drive, just a lot of Iowa back roads. I do like driving through rural Iowa this time of year, late July, early August. just because the corn is already up and hasn't quite started to dry out yet. So it's scenic.
In 600 feet, continue on to Aspen Avenue.
In the summertime, when I used to go up to Strawberry to visit my grandparents, I'd usually once or twice take the back roads home instead of the highways. But anyway, this is rural Iowa.
In 600 feet, turn left onto US 18 East. Turn left onto US 18 East.
Lots of little towns. Lots of 25-mile-an-hour speed traps. Iowa passed a law a couple of years ago that towns with populations under 10,000 are not permitted to put up speed cameras anymore. This is Clayton County. This is where my grandparents are from. This is where my family's acreage is. We're clear on the east side of the county. That's all on the west side of the county, so I'm a good half hour from there. I'm not going that direction. I did briefly consider dropping the trailer up at the acreage.
There are police reported ahead.
There are. I don't think so, Google. I might stop at that Spook Cave. I haven't been there since I was a little kid. My grandparents took us there a couple times. I have not been there since I was a little kid. So I'm thinking, I was actually kind of thinking about this about a half hour ago, that when I leave home here next week and start heading back up towards Minnesota, that I might stop at Spook Cave and spend the night there on my way up, just for old time's sake. But anyway, yeah, these small towns, they used to make a killing on speed cameras. You know, they dropped the speed limit from 55 to 25 in the course of about half a town block. And then they put a camera there to catch everybody flying through. And then, yeah, they did away with that now. So, yeah, now they got to do the old-fashioned speed traps again. Yeah, back out of town, back out in the country. Corn is blowing, the wind's blowing, I'm blowing. I probably should have gotten over, but there's nobody behind me. You know, the speed limits out here are 60 now. July 1st, new law went into effect that raised the default two-lane county blacktop speed limit from 55 to 60 in Iowa, but I think we're going to keep it a little bit slower. This is, it's like driving a sailboat in a hurricane out here. I got it at 55 now. I might drop it down to 50 yet, which is going to back up traffic behind me, but these winds are no joke today. If I do make a video out of today's stuff, I got thinking I don't know what I'm going to compile a video with. Like, you know, my everything I did yesterday up in Duluth is kind of a video in a bow. So today it's just me talking and driving, and there's no dash cam footage, so. But I guess if I do compile some sort of video, we can call this one driving a sailboat through a hurricane. Yeah, it's 4:45, 73 degrees out. And it's almost, it is so cloudy it's dark. I'm not even wearing... I finally took my sunglasses off. I always drive with sunglasses, and there's no sunlight here. Ironically, this is also what Iowa looks like in the wintertime. Cold, gray, dreary. That's why I'm so happy I get out of here in the winters now. Horns are blowing, trees are blowing. Oh, my dad's calling. Alright, I'm gonna end this video, talk to him. Welcome to Guttenberg on the Mississippi. Well, can't see much now. If I would have thought to get my camera out when I was at the top of the hill. So we're in far northeast Iowa. We're still northeast even of Dubuque. So somehow this storm managed to basically skirt around me. Because when I left Decorah, I was in front of it. And then while I was talking, apparently back there in the wind was throwing me all over the damn place. It was actually skirting around me to the, I guess, kind of southwest, moving in front of me. So I'm behind the storm now. I don't remember if the highway goes down by the river again or not. I've been to Guttenberg a few times. When we were kids, my grandpa had a little fishing boat, a little 18-footer with a 60-horse Mercury outboard on it. And summers when we spend with them every now and then, couple of times we'd bring the boat over here and put into the Mississippi at Guttenberg and go for a boat ride. Yeah, these tall bluffs off to the right are pretty common along the river here in northeast Iowa. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's the dealer he bought the boat from. I have a calendar from 1999. What that dealer, when you bought a new boat from them, they would take your picture with the boat and then they would put it on a calendar. And so my grandpa had that in his shop. Picture him and my grandma with their boat when they bought it. Guttenberg, boat landing and docks. That's where, over there to the left. I don't remember if we get any more looks at the river or not along this road. Basically, at this point, we head straight south down into Dyersville, and Dyersville is nowhere near the river. Yeah, this road basically goes due south, and the river at this point goes kind of southeast. Scenic Overlook, 1 mile. Oh yeah, there's part of the river through the trees. More of a, what do they call it, like a side channel. It's definitely not the main channel. You can tell that I'm decently behind that storm now because the winds have way calmed down. Then I'm down here on these bluffs. Yeah, there's your scenic overview as I go flying by it. Oh, maybe not. I thought that was it. I guess it's not. Here's our scenic overlook. Alright, point the camera in that direction in case there's something you can see. Oh, apparently you have to hike to it. Never mind. I'm definitely not stopping to check it out. I've seen enough of northeast Iowa over my 40 and, let's see, 8/12s. What's that, 40 and 2/3 years on this planet. Yeah, you really can't see anything in that direction. Anyway. More rolling hills, more cornfields, more bean fields. The whole time I lived in Arizona, I did kind of miss the cornfield view just from driving down the road, but when I live here and I see it all the time, like, it's scenic, but it's kind of one of those been there, done that. It'll be interesting to see once I get down. So Dyersville is where we'll hop on Highway 20. Dyersville is home to the world's, I don't know if it's world's largest, but it's the National Farm Toy Museum, which is pretty cool. I've gone there a couple of times. It's been a long time. But I used to have a lot of farm toys when I was a kid. My dad was a farmer. Both sets of grandparents were farmers. I guess technically I'm the first generation of my family to not be a farmer. But anyway, once I get down to Highway 20, it'll be interesting to see what direction GPS tells me to go home. Basically, I have two options. I can take 20 over towards Dubuque and then head south down Highway 61, which is all freeway. 4-lane, 65 mile an hour. With there's two different bypasses around Dubuque. There's the official 4-lane road, and then there's the unofficial Monastery road. Or at Dyersville, I can hop on State Highway 136, which just kind of zigzags southeast. Highway 20 runs straight east into Dubuque, and from Dubuque, Highway 61 runs pretty much straight south down to Davenport. Whereas Highway 136 is all 2-lane blacktop, now 60 mile an hour, through a whole bunch of tiny little towns, but it shaves some miles, but generally, if you're not pulling a trailer and you're doing the speed limit or slightly above, it adds about 15 to 20 minutes to the drive. But it's also a lot more scenic. So pulling the trailer and trying to keep my... Normally, like, for the last month, I would have been trying to keep my speed down. keep my gas mileage up. But today I've been doing 65 everywhere I've been able to. A lot of the whole route coming down from after I got out of Minneapolis, St. Paul area, it's been a lot of 55, 60 mile an hour roads anyway, especially coming down all the way to Rochester, down through Decorah. So my gas mileage hasn't been great, but it's not like I've been doing 70 the whole way. So anyway, once I get down to Dyersville, I'll have to decide which route I'm going to go. If I was trying to take it slow, I'd just cut the miles and go take 136 through all the small towns and go slow. But to be honest, it's 5:30. I've been driving since 11. My ass is getting a little tired of riding in this truck. My back is definitely tired of riding in this truck. And honestly, I just kind of want to get home. Not that there's anything really waiting for me at home, I just don't want to be driving anymore. Because my house is still basically, I wouldn't say winterized, but like in slumber mode, I guess. It's set to slumber. That reminds me of a movie reference, but I can't think of it. Set the house to slumber. What am I thinking of? That'll come back to me. Yeah, the air conditioning is off. Well, at least with it being stormy and cool today, hopefully the house isn't 90 degrees inside. I would check, but my internet's down, so I can't access any of my smart home. I keep catching myself like, yeah, the whole reason, well, not the whole reason, but one of the reasons I'm going home is I don't have internet. So yeah, the air conditioning's off, the water is off, which that just means going down to the basement and turn it on. But like, yeah, I gotta fire the hot water heater back up. Hot water heater's redundant. So I get home, like I need to at least unload, like almost all of my clothes are in the trailer. I don't think I have a whole lot for laundry left at home, but whatever. So I guess I can take my laundry back in, start a little laundry, and get the water heater fired up so I can take a shower later. And if it is 90 degrees in the house, turn on the air conditioner, and maybe by tomorrow morning it'll be cooled back down. I know listening to me talk is not that interesting, but cornfields. It's the amber waves of grain.
It's simple. You just jump, tuck, and roll. It's all hay and grass out there. It's the amber waves of grain.
Nice amber waves.
I think I got a chunk of Purple Mountain's majesty up my ass.
Flyover country. I must be starting to catch up to the storm again because it's raining. Stargate Atlantis, that's what I was thinking of. The opening scene of the pilot episode, the one that's the spin-off from SG-1. When they finally get to Atlantis, they're listening to the hologram explain the history. And the hologram goes, so we set our city to slumber and let it go for its long rest or something like that. That's the reference I was thinking of. That's a total geek moment.
Nerd!
Almost embarrassing. Lightning. So while I really didn't have to rush home today, with it being just kind of a rainy, nasty day all day today anyway, it's a good day to just drive it anyway, because I'm not missing anything, and start getting on the stuff I gotta do while I'm at home, and edit some video this weekend, and spend some time with my niece. New Vienna. Actually, I have a pretty cool picture of a limousine parked in front of that church. Before I owned the party buses, I drove for the company, and we had 2 limos. So, right here on the street, right in front of the entryway there, I'd parked the black town car stretch and walked across the street over the left and got a pretty cool photo. Still have it somewhere. That was bright. I think we're catching up to the storm. I have to put the camera down here and look at the radar again. I guess I can do it when I get to Dyersville. Yeah, Iowa in the summertime. Corn, hills, heat and humidity, thunderstorms. This line of storms was producing some tornadoes to the west of here. I was on the phone with my dad for a little while. Their sirens were going off. They were down in the basement. I should pull over somewhere and get a picture of my trailer next to a cornfield so I have a thumbnail. If only, I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to run out of cornfields to take a picture with. That was sarcasm, by the way. I'll probably have to insert a Big Bang Theory clip for that comment. Seriously though, if I want to capture a thumbnail picture, it's getting really dark. That is going to be my only downfall with capturing photos. But honestly, I really don't want to stop. I just want to get home. And obviously it's raining, so if I stop somewhere and try to pose for a photo, then I'm going to be out in the rain. That was bright. Dyersville. Sorry, the view is not very great. The semi in front of me is throwing up a lot of... Whoa! That was cool. That semi's throwing up a lot of road spray.
In half a mile, turn left onto 2nd Avenue Southeast.
Oh yeah, Dyersville. Huh, I didn't even think about that. This is home of the Field of Dreams movie site. That's what this town is famous for. Especially the last few years, because MLB has done a Field of Dreams game the last couple of years. Honestly, that is one of those tourist trap type places that I think is way overrated. We went there once when we were kids. It's actually while we lived in Arizona.
Turn left onto 2nd Avenue Southeast.
Aye, aye, Google. When we lived in Arizona, one of the summers we came back, some family friends that had never taken their kids there, and we'd never been there, so all of our families went. And it's actually the original movie site, the original field in Baseball Diamond is actually owned by 2 separate entities. So you've got competing parking and gift shops and all of that on the property. the original house is actually somebody's residence. They live there. So, like, you can't, like, all you can do is kind of walk around the baseball diamond, and that's one of those little flies from Decorah this morning. Not Decorah, Duluth. So, like, yeah, the house is somebody's property, so you can just, you know, go onto the walk. And the fields of corn are actual, you know, real cornfields. Like, you know, some farmer planted that and intends to harvest it to make money. So, like, you can't, like, you're supposed to stay out of the cornfield, and, like, you can kind of play on the baseball diamond, and it's just kind of overrated. And then, like, so the MLB games now, when they, so they built this whole, like, mini stadium and a dedicated proper field adjacent to the movie site for the MLB games. So it's not like the MLB games that you see on TV every year for the Field of Dreams site. It's not like they're playing on the movie site field, like, it's adjacent. And parking and tickets are a whole nightmare for that game. I've never been, but I've read and seen, and based on having been to the site, I can believe it. Yeah, that's what Dyersville, Iowa is known for. Kevin Costner's Is This Heaven? Nope, it's Iowa.
Hey! Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa.
That up there to the right is Highway 20.
Turn right onto Wuchter Road.
Oh shit. That came up faster than I was expecting. Ugh.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
Aye, aye, Captain.
At the stop sign, turn left onto US 20 East.
Oh, this will be fun. I would have rather turned on to, well, maybe I'm going to get a break here. I would have rather come on to 20 in town where there's a proper on-ramp. Oh, well, that actually went a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to. I didn't even think about that when GPS told me to go through town. Alright, well, this drive's about to get a hell of a lot more boring because this is just 4-lane highway until, I'll pick you up from Monastery Road. That's kind of fun. In the meantime, I'm going to put the camera down and very quickly look at the radar and see just what kind of shit I'm going to be driving into. That's interesting. The GPS is actually going to send me down Monastery Road. The official bypass around Dubuque now is Highway 52. They built that a few years ago. 4-lane cuts across from the west to the south there, so you don't have to go through downtown Dubuque. So this Monastery Road, more or less shortcut, really isn't the recommended route anymore. I still drive it quite a bit because it's a fun little 2-lane road down, winding through there. Probably gonna suck with a trailer on, but oh well. But when I was a little kid, Highway 61 was not 4-lane all the way from the Quad Cities up to Dubuque. So the fastest route was actually Highway 136 down through all the small towns, which I didn't take today. And then
In half a mile, take exit 308 toward Community College.
Eventually, and I don't remember if Highway 20 was finished all the way to Dubuque or not back then. I'm talking like mid to late 90s. So when Highway 61 got done enough, one of the time, I remember my grandpa being like describing this route to my dad for the first time.
Take exit 308.
Like how efficient or how much nicer it was to go down through the monastery than to have to drive into downtown Dubuque and back down Highway 61. So this little town is called Piasta. GPS keeps saying community college because Northeast Iowa Community College has a campus here.
At the next stop sign, turn right. At the stop sign, turn right onto Sundown Road.
That thudding is me killing more bugs against the window. I've been in the car for 7 hours and I'm still killing those stupid little... I don't know what they are. They look like mosquitoes and they act like gnats. So I don't know what they are, but they're annoying. I'm still killing them. They don't bite, so they're not mosquitoes. Yeah, that's part of the... We're heading right into that thunderstorm, by the way, so we're probably going to get to see some cool lightning. Because that thunderstorm, as I've been cutting southeast, has been cutting more south-southeast, and now that we're heading due south, we're driving right into it. Alright, this... Lots of cornfield. Corn to the right of me, corn to the left of me. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. I mean, if we really wanted to be Iowa about it, we'd have, you know, corn to the right of me and soybeans to the south of me, or left of me. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yeah, before I got interrupted by GPS, yeah, my grandpa back in the 90s was telling my dad about this route and pointing it out on a map, you know, because we didn't even have MapQuest back in those days, let alone GPS. That was years after, been there, done that. Coleman pop up on the side of the road with a shredded tire. That sucks. Like I told that story about I shredded a tire at a campground in Virginia and went to put the spare on, and the spare didn't belong to that trailer. The lug pattern didn't match. But anyway, yeah, I don't remember when that grandpa telling dad about this route. I vaguely remember it. Was in relation to the one time we were going up to Grandpa and Grandma's. We lived in the Quad Cities, and like it was nighttime. I don't remember if it was storming, and like Dad missed the turnoff in Dubuque and got on the bridge, and Mom kept like telling him like, I think we're going the wrong way, and Dad's like, no, I'm pretty sure we're going the right way. And then the next thing you know, we see the Welcome to Wisconsin sign. And I was a little kid sitting in the back seat. I was probably, I don't know. Well, I was aged 9 to 14 when we lived down there the first time.
Go past North Cascade Road and turn left onto Monastery Road.
I was aged between 9 and 14, so I was probably like 9 or 10. And sitting in the back seat, like really didn't understand like geography in the map.
Turn left onto Monastery Road.
And where we were. I remember like kind of freaking out, like, what do you mean we're in Wisconsin? I thought we were going to Grandma's. And I'm thinking we were like 3 hours out of the way, and we're like 10 minutes in the wrong direction. Because when you're going through downtown Dubuque on Highway 61, it's pretty easy to accidentally keep going or miss that left turn onto Highway 30, especially if at night you're not, no GPS. This is Monastery Road, by the way. It's a very narrow little 2-lane road through the cornfields. It's pretty easy to miss that turn and get on that bridge. And once you're on that, like that approach to that bridge, like there's no off ramps, there's nowhere to turn around. Yeah, I was a little kid in the backseat freaking out, like, I wanted to see Grandma tonight. Like thinking we're like 4 hours in the wrong direction. Just more cornfields. And this road still gets a lot of traffic as the historical, well-known, and apparently still Google Maps recommended route around Dubuque. One time when I was driving up here, I think it was when Grandpa was in the nursing home, one of those Saturdays I came up. Right on this curve up here is where I blew a tire on my Toyota. Well, I didn't blow it, but it went flat. So yeah, as you can tell, there's really no shoulder along this road, so there was not really a good place to pull off and change a tire on the side of the road. That was a fun day. Or a fun morning, at least. Getting all my crap out of the trunk of the car so I could get the jack and the spare out. So there's the casket place that the monks in this area are known for. There's usually a lot of deer in this area too, especially this time of year. More than once I've come through here and had to slam on the brakes for deer. The only time I've only ever hit a deer once in my life, knock on wood. That was on the west end of Davenport on Interstate 280. And I was coming up the hill from the river. And I saw 3 of them starting to run across the ditch or whatever. And so I slowed way down. And they kind of paused. So I was slowed down to 30 mile an hour or so watching them. It looked like they were going to stop because they kind of paused. So I kind of kept going, still at low speed. And then they decided they were going to take off in front of me. And yeah, I hit the brakes pretty hard. But I tapped the big one, probably doing like 5 to 7 mile an hour. I knocked him over. So I don't know what speed it takes to knock over a deer, but that's how fast I was going. And so I pull over the shoulder then, and like there wasn't even like no dents, no scratches, no nothing. My truck was just fine. It was actually in this truck, now that I think about it. And yeah, anyway, so I knocked him over, and before I could even like figure out what to do or decide what to do, like the deer stood back up and kept on going. So, you know, I didn't even injure it, or if I did, not enough that it didn't stop him from bouncing back up and running off. So yeah, that's my fascinating hit a deer story.
That's fascinating.
Knocked one over. Right there, that corner. Yeah, I bet I bet that car there, I bet he's storm chasing. Because we're on the backside of the storm. I don't know what he thinks he's going to see, but I mean, the storm has produced tornadoes, so. Yep, this is Monastery Road. We're now entering Skyline Road. Once, when I was a teenager, one of those summers we lived in Arizona when we came back, think. No. It would have been after that. Oh, one time I was driving this road before GPS. That's Highway 151 there. If you turn right there, well, there you got the deputy sitting over there. I don't know if he's storm watching or if he's running radar on Highway 151. But anyway, if you turn right there onto Highway 151, that actually takes you southwest down into Cedar Rapids. So I was coming along this way once, not paying any attention. It must have been when I was in college. And I thought I wasn't paying attention. Obviously, I didn't have GPS. Like, I thought that was Highway 61. So I got up to it and turned right, thinking I was turning right into Highway 61 to head down to Davenport, and started heading towards Cedar Rapids. And I got to one of the towns where it intersects Highway 136 going south. I don't remember what town. And I recognized the name of the town from Highway 136. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not where I want to be. And I must have consulted a map or something, or figured out where I was, or figured out my mistake, and turned and took Highway 136 and all the way down to the Quad Cities, and added probably a good 45 minutes to my drive. I was so mad at myself.
That's fascinating.
That's one of those mistakes you only make once. Kind of like when you own a boat and forget to put the drain plug in. It's a mistake you make once. So anyway, Skyline Road. This just runs about 10 miles due east. There's nothing really interesting here except for a whole bunch of hills and cornfields. And then it intersects with Highway 61. Okay. I may have set a record today for the most boring YouTube video I've ever produced. I've had some doozies, but this one might take the cake. I really thought we'd see some more weather, but when I get up here to the highway, I'm going to check the radar again. Yeah, 6:15. Like, this is how dark it normally is at this time of day in, October, November. I guess it is alright, second week of August, but it should still be light out till at least 8 o'clock, 8:30 this time of year. I've gotten really spoiled being clear up in the north for the last month. It doesn't get dark till 10:30. That is one of my biggest complaints about Iowa in the wintertime with daylight savings, is it gets dark at like 4:15 in the afternoon at the peak of the winter solstice. And you get just overcast, dreary days like this that just last for days on end. There's some lightning. You don't see the sun for 3 days.
In half a mile, turn right toward US 61 South.
Yeah, you get up in the morning and go to work and it's dark, and you come home from work and it's dark, and very depressing around here in the winter.
Enjoy Bratislava. It's good you came in summer. In winter, it can get very depressing.
Which is why I now go to Texas. Alright, anybody behind me? Doesn't look like it.
right toward US 61 South. Then at the next stop sign, you'll turn right.
Alright, kind of just pull the side here and stop. Yeah, there's one guy coming behind me. He can get around me. Check the
At
radar.
the stop sign.
Alright, so it looks like, according to the radar, this storm it's moving southeast at a pretty good clip. So, it looks to be pretty well south of me and still moving southeast. So I should just be on the tail back side of it the whole way home. From here, it's about 55 minutes, depending on how fast I decide to go to home. But yeah, it looks like I should just be riding the tail skirts of the storm the whole way down. I'm not going to actually plow straight into it like I thought I would, so that's a good sign. I'm not going to record for the whole time. I'm going to turn some music back on, and ironically enough, it's Garth Brooks again. Every time I record video in the truck, it's Garth Brooks. I've been listening to a lot of country lately, but I listen to other artists too. It's just every time I look down, it's Garth Brooks. Anyway, I'm going to listen to some music, and maybe once I get down around Maquoketa, I'll narrate some more. I don't know. I may also just delete all of this footage and not even make a video out of it. If I'm smart, that's what I'd do. Alright, bye. Alright, so we are coming up into Maquoketa, and I've got more stories to tell.
It's fascinating.
And to be honest, if you are still watching this video, then you've earned the punishment. Just kidding. So Maquoketa is home to a couple of things. The Maquoketa Caves State Park, which, to be honest, I've never been to. I've intended to go there since I was a kid, and never have. Once, I used to go tent camping with my neighbors, my best friend, and I was like, it's just going to be me and his brother and his dad. I think it was just the four of us for a weekend trip, or maybe, yeah, it was a weekend trip. And so we came up to Maquoketa Caves State Park, which is off here to the right. But the campground was completely full. There was no room, no sites available. Damn frickin' bugs. So anywho, yeah, so we wound up going to Bellevue State Park, which is like 30 miles northeast of here. Instead, it was a fun trip that weekend. We were hiking in the woods, and Ben found this like fallen tree over this creek that was just spongy enough that it acted like a trampoline, and so he thought it was really funny. We named it Ben's Trampoline, and I was like 12 or 13 at the time, and he was sitting there jumping on this log over this creek, and all of a sudden missed and landed in the creek. So yeah, we were just kind of hiking in the woods and screwing around, and we get back to camp. He's completely soaked. His brother got lost in the woods because he kept hiking after Ben fell into the creek and got lost, and accidentally stumbled into a Boy Scout camp that happened to be there. And so they brought him back around to the campground later. And then, like, Sunday before we left to go home, their family always played croquet, but they did not play croquet in the normal pattern with, you know, the like whatever, the zigzag back and forth with the wickets. Like, they would set up the most like ridiculous and impossible croquet course that you could possibly imagine. That bug is like invincible. I've swatted at him a dozen times. And anyway, so our campsite like backed up to this like 10-foot tall like hill. It was basically straight up. And so Greg decided he was going to set one of the wickets up on top of this hill. So yeah, you had to manage to get the wicket up on top of this thing without sending it, you know, clear over to a neighboring campsite. And that was the most impossible game of croquet I've ever played in my life. Those were all my memories from that trip of never making it to Maquoketa State Park, or Maquoketa Caves State Park.
That's fascinating.
And then after I graduated from college, when I moved back to this area, like, I was intended to go up to Maquoketa Caves some weekend camping, but Most of the time, it's a good 40 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes up here from home. So it's always more convenient to go to Scott County Park, which we'll drive by in a little bit. That's some good lighting. So I never have been there. It's still on my bucket list. I got it pinned on my map. Someday I'll camp up there. The other thing in Maquoketa is the Maquoketa River, which is a slow, shallow, narrow little river most of the time that is perfect for canoeing and kayaking. So there's lots of family stories of drunken canoe trips down the Maquoketa River with my parents and all their friends. And I may have one or two of those myself as an adult, but we won't get into those. That's Maquoketa. Coming up here around this bend, just slightly south of Maquoketa, maybe around the next bend, is the 61 Drive-In Movie Theater. Oh, wait a minute. Have we? Yeah. It's coming up here a little ways. Delmar. It's at the Delmar turnoff. It's one of 3 or 4 still operating drive-in theaters in Iowa. I've never been to any of the other ones. This one we used to go to like once or twice a summer when we were kids. You used to be allowed to grill there, but I don't think you can do that anymore. But yeah, they played 2 movies back to back, and kids would all run around like idiots and watch the movies and then fall asleep in the car on the way back home. I've been there in all the years since I've been back in Iowa. I just never went up there. I've been there actually twice this year. I went once. I don't like most current movies. I really like watching movies I've seen a million times. ADHD. So once they played Twister on the big screen at the beginning of this year. I want to say that was like in May I went up for. That was awesome. I captured a video of the drive-in movie scene in the movie Twister at the drive-in movie.
Joe! Bill! It's coming! It's headed right for us! It's already here! Joe, come on!
Which is basically what I went for. that was just awesome. And then I went up again, I think in June, early June. They had another throwback night with playing both the original Top Gun and the Top Gun Maverick. So I drove up for that, and that was pretty cool too.
That's fascinating.
And then later this summer, I'm going to miss it because I'm planning on resuming my road trip and going to Montana. But later this summer, they're doing a double feature of Twister and Twisters on the big screen as well. So I'm kind of disappointed I'm going to miss that one because Twister on the big screen the first time was pretty damn cool. So seeing both those movies back to back at the drive-in would have been pretty cool, but I will not be home for that. But here it is up on the right, on the other side of this bridge. I see all the cars already starting to line up and pull in, and that big green tower is the screen. And I think Spider-Man's playing tonight. I think I saw their ad on Facebook. That is Maquoketa. So yeah, now there's nothing but pretty much cornfields until we go past Scott County Park. If it wasn't so cold and dreary and nasty and rainy and dark, I'd drive through Scott County Park, but maybe sometime I'll do a drive-through tour of the park and make a video out of it. I don't know. There's a cool pioneer village on the north side of it. There's 8 or 9 different campgrounds now. My favorite one got demolished so they could build a full hookups campground. Well, my second favorite. My favorite's a little primitive one, but you can't really get a trailer in there. So it's my favorite when I tent camp, but haven't really been there since. The one I go to most often is just kind of a flat open field. It's primitive, no hookups. That's where I did my my pilot test last summer to make sure that I could work with solar panels and Starlink. So it's basically an open field. So, I guess that's it for now. I'll yammer some more when I get closer to home. In case you can't tell, I am bored out of my mind with this now. We're coming up on 7 o'clock, so I've been in this truck for almost 8 hours. And yeah, I'm pretty much bored out of my mind, so talking to myself in a camera and telling stories is less boring than... Yeah. Alright, bye. Alright, I just turned off Highway 61. I'm going to take the back roads into Davenport. I will be home in about 5 minutes, so I think this will be the end of this video. As I rambled on about earlier, I got plenty of shit to do when I get home. And then I have decided that I'm going to do the bare minimum to get my house put back together and change my clothes. And if I can find my car keys, because I'm not quite sure where I left those, I'm just gonna go find well, I know exactly, I'm gonna go to my favorite restaurant and I'm gonna sit in my favorite bar, hopefully in my favorite bar stool.
Afternoon, everybody.
I'm not setting my ways at all. And drink a cold beer and eat my favorite meal and wash it down with a second cold beer. That is my plan for the rest of the evening. So yeah, park camper, get the house going, change clothes, and go eat. Because honestly, I am ready to just, yeah, it's been a day. So I think I've yammered on enough in this video to actually have enough content for a full video. If this was the most boring video I've ever made that you've ever watched, thank you for watching it, and I'm sorry. And if this isn't the most boring, then, well, thank you again for watching. So I will pick you up in the next one. I don't know how much content I'm going to make while I'm back home. Probably not much. And I will be back on... I do have lots of editing to do this weekend, so there'll be videos this weekend from the last week that I haven't finished publishing. And then, yeah, I'm hoping to be back on the road in maybe 3 or 4 days, a week tops. And we'll get back to the summer road trip and sightseeing. And basically I pick up where I left off in Minnesota at Mississippi River headwaters, and then work west into North Dakota as per the original plan. So this is just a slight 1 week detour via home. Oh well, shit happens. Alright, thanks for watching. Again, catch you in the next one. Bye.